Good morning, everybody. John Swift live here. Today, I am actually coming from my house because I woke up today. I didn't feel very good. I was kind of feeling kind of sick, but so I didn't really want to go outside and shoot a vlog. So I decided just to try one in the house. Um, yeah, I'm feeling kind of super tired. My body feels kind of achy. Normally, I have like foot pain and back pain, and usually on days when I'm sick, usually it's like twofold: the back pain and the foot pain. And actually, I was playing frisbee golf this weekend, and my shoulder and my pec kind of hurts now because I always go out and play way too hard. I'm not in shape for playing that. I haven't been throwing frisbees. So anyway, so the subject of today's vlog is I've been reading a Burt Reynolds book. I know he's kind of been out of the public eye for quite a while, and it's called Enough About Me. And I really like autobiographies because they inspire me. Because hearing about other people's struggles in life, sort of. Oh, Bob's here too. Bob wants to be on camera. Say hi, Bob. Hi, Bob. That's my cat hanging out over here. His name's Bob. His full name is, I think, Bobberlin, but we shortened it to Bob. So, all right, Bob. So, yeah, I get sort of inspired, and I just really enjoy hearing about other people's life stories. All right, so the the oven thing is going off right now. That means the chicken's done. My girlfriend left some chicken on the stove. So anyway, totally live there, folks. You just don't expect those kind of things to happen on a live internet to tape. Okay, so reading about other people's autobiographies I find fascinating because I was gonna say, Burt Reynolds, was really famous for doing like Smokey and the Bandit. That gets played on TV a lot and stuff. He did Deliverance, which was a big Academy Award winning movie. He did some later movies, maybe in the '90s, Stick and Sharky's Machine. You can look those up on the internet. And he did Boogie Nights, was considered like a big comeback movie for him, where he was like a director or producer of pornography movie. It wasn't really considered a dirty movie. It was more like a little bit of a comedy. Where are you going, Bob? You want to get on camera too? My cat yeah, Bob's gonna get on camera. Come on. Bob wants to get on camera too. So, reading his autobiography, I just admired him. I think maybe in my 40s, when I was in my teens, Burt Reynolds was really a really popular actor, and I think that's why I sort of hero worship a little bit. I think a lot of that is when you start growing up and you get in your 30s and 40s, you don't hero worship people as much. You don't look up to people, because a lot of the people coming out in movies are actually younger than you. So it seems weird to hero worship somebody younger than you. There's a couple of actors I really like. Bradley Cooper, I really admire because he seems like he's such a stand-up guy. He did the was it The Bachelor Party? My cat's tail's right in my face. That helps out a lot. Bradley Cooper, he did Limitless too. He was really good in the A Team. If you saw the A Team with Liam Neeson, Bradley Cooper, really funny, really charismatic, good-looking guy. Seems like he'd be really funny to hang out with. So people like that. I like Tom Cruise. I read a really bad book about him one time, so it kind of soiled the Tom Cruise thing. But Tom Cruise is closer to my age. Anyway, so back to the Burt Reynolds thing. So somehow I really enjoy reading about their ups and downs. Like Burt Reynolds, he was. It was mentioned one time that he was like the top. I mentioned this in another vlog too. He was one of the top grossing, like the number one movie grossing for 10 years. He's the top film grossing or number one actor in movies at that time. And he did a lot of older films in the 60s too, I think, or early 70s. Like Seamus was pretty good, where he was a detective and he was trying to solve some case. And he actually got really hurt during that movie, jumping off on a tree limb and then fell like 20 feet or 15 feet, doing his own stunt because he was also a rated stuntman. So anyway, I wanted to, the one part that got me this morning that I was reading was, and I've heard this on interviews too on YouTube, that he did with the Actors Screen Guild or whatever that show is called. His dad never acknowledged that he was successful. Never thought, was proud of him. Never said that he was proud of him. I don't think his dad ever hugged him. He says in here that he would have given anything. So I wanted to read a quick page in his writing, so it's not just me saying this, and it's also Johnny Carson's mother never acknowledged that he was successful, never told him that he did a good job, it sounds like she never gave him any acknowledgement of what he did, that sounds crazy. If you don't know Johnny Carson retired in, I think, was it 62 to 92, and then he was the host of The Tonight Show before Jay Leno, so he did 30 years on that show, and you can go on YouTube and Google Johnny Carson. I've also read his book, or a book about him. So anyway, I got to put my grandma glasses on, and I wanted to read a little bit of this chapter that's very interesting, actually like about a page. So Johnny's talking about how his mother, he called her the toughest son of a bitch of them all, which is crazy. And when she died, he refused to go to the funeral. The wicked witch is dead, he told everyone. Yet he found a big box in her house full of clippings from her son's career. Johnny took that box and kept it in his bedroom closet for the rest of his life. Interesting, huh? This was something Johnny and I had in common, I being Burt Reynolds. I had the same thing with my father. I tried everything I could think of to earn his approval, but got nothing. Not a single attaboy or a pat on the head. As a young boy on construction jobs with him, I'd work extra hard. I'd load the wheelbarrow with dirt, push it as far as I can, unload it, and rush back. One time he said, "You keep that up and you'll be built like Joe Louis," who was a boxer, a well-known boxer. That was the closest my dad ever came to give me a compliment. When I shined on the football field, he did come to all the games with my mom, I thought. And well, when I get home tonight, he'll say, "You played a good game, son," but nothing. When the papers the next day would have glowing write-ups, still nothing. And then when I made the first all-team state, he didn't say a word. I just kept hoping that someday he'll tell me what a good football player I was. And he never did. He just didn't know how to do it. Men of his generation did not show affection easily. They didn't hug or say, "I love you." I would have settled for a hug. I would have killed for a hug. My dad lived to be 95. In the last years of his life, we talked a lot. And when he finally said that he was proud of me, it made me cry. It still does. I'm grateful that he lived long enough to say it. So it's really interesting. The first time I ever heard that, I'm thinking, Burt Reynolds was considered, at the time, one of the top actors, like I said, top actors in his field. Everybody knew him. He actually hosted The Tonight Show. Johnny Carson picked him to host The Tonight Show. He had his own show that he did. It was some kind of Burt Reynolds late night show. Smokey and the Bandit was huge in 1977. And then Smokey and the Bandit 2 in 1980. And then, it eludes me a little bit right now exactly the other. Sharky's Machine, I think, did pretty well. That was a pretty big movie. Like I said, he did Deliverance. He did quite a few good movies. I just can't think of them now. But if you go on and Google it or go to IMDb, you can see a list of movies that he's done. And actually now he's actually teaching acting lessons in Florida. Maybe we're around where he grew up or something. But it seems like he's a really stand-up guy, and you don't hear a lot of bad things. One funny thing is Marlon Brando hated him for some reason. I wonder if it's because there's actually a thing on YouTube where you can hear Brando talking bad about Burt Reynolds on the set of some movie, which is really funny. I think it was a threat. And also I saw somebody do a photo comparison of Burt Reynolds like in the 60s with Marlon Brando, and it's funny how much they look alike. He didn't look so much like Brando. But so anyway, back to the thing about not getting any credit. I think my mom gave me a lot of credit for things. I wasn't very good at taking compliments, or if my parents said, I would just usually brush it off, I think. My dad was a little harder. I think he would say stuff, but it didn't seem like he was really heartfelt, you know. And I think part of that was me, is because if my parents tried to hug me, I think for some reason I had this thing where I did, as a little kid, yes, but older I started to like push them away. You know, when they hugged me, I really didn't enjoy that. I really don't. I'm really not sure why. It's just one of those things. Maybe when you, as you're growing up, look at this cat's tail. This flipping tail. So, the message that I actually want to convey is, if you have children or grandchildren, make sure that you tell them they did a great job. My girlfriend has grandkids, and I consider them my grandkids too. We always try to tell them, you know, great job. And I can see that they do the same thing where they kind of brush it off. Oh, thanks. You know, it doesn't seem like they really connect with that. And I don't know if most kids just expect that, you know. Everybody says, great job, great job. Like recently they had a cheerleading competition. Well, I can't believe 11 minutes has already gone by. They went to cheerleading competition, and they actually won 4th place out of 5. Out of 5 places that they actually give you. It wasn't out of 5 teams. It was probably more out of 10 teams, or maybe more. I'm not sure. There were so many teams there. They won 4th place, and they were disappointed. And I just hope that that the parents and explain to the kids, it's really important. What is really important is when you're competing, that you are giving 100% to the competition or to yourself. Like people say, leaving it on the field. You leave it all on the field. You give as much as you can. If you don't win or you don't place, then you just say to yourselves, I did my best. You know, I mean, there's always somebody better out there than you. And so, you know, a lot of us probably have experienced the same thing, where your parents never encouraged you or they never told you did a great job. And the one thing you can do to sort of correct that cycle is to try to tell your kids, great job. If they got 100 on their test, or they even got a 90 on their test, great job. I work with kids in the afternoons, and I try to tell them, when they come up to me and tell me they did something, I try to tell them, great job. And they will come back and tell me that they've done things, you know. And a kid told me yesterday it was his birthday, and I wished him happy birthday and everything. And sometimes it surprises me that they tell me, you know, that they had something at school, or they did something in football, and it makes me wonder if they when they're at home, that they do get any acknowledgement that they don't. I know some kids do not get any acknowledgement at home about what they have accomplished and stuff. So I try to somehow bring that positivity to the kids, even though I don't have blood kids, I have grandkids. And just in general, you know, actually adults need that too. You know, adults need, hey, great job, good job. You know, people at work will win like a best counselor award or something like that, or something, or best group or something like that. And I always try to be not try to be a sore loser and tell them, hey, congratulations, you did that and you did that. So I didn't want it to be like a super serious blog, but I guess it sort of turned into that. And you know, sometimes I have those days where I'm just sort of reflective, and rather than just do something funny, I just feel like try to pass on a positive message, try to pass on something, you know, that can make the world a little bit better without standing on a pedestal. With all the kind of crazy stuff that's going on right now, I mean, what we can do is go out and just try to be more positive ourselves and toward other people. So that's the end of the message today. Bob wanted to say goodbye. Goodbye, Bob. Bob's a good cat. I have 2 cats. One's named Jimmy and one's named Bob. So I put some new designs on Spreadshirt on my my merchandising page. I've got some mugs on there with different designs. My logo is a guy jumping, and I've actually redesigned it for Christmas time. And I've actually got a hoodie on there. I've got women's shirts. I got kids shirts on there now too, kid sizes. So if you're looking for a cool gift, go ahead and check out johnswift.spreadshirt.com. If you Google that, it will come up under John Swift. And also, if you like this video, go ahead and go down there and like. And if, like I've said this before, if you're in Facebook, you have to go to click the YouTube button to go on the YouTube site to click like. That's appreciated too. And I'm just wishing everybody a great holiday. I hope we don't have any more crazy stuff happen this holiday. It's like you just kind of hold your breath and hope that everything goes right, and keep your fingers crossed behind your back too. We'll see you guys later. Try to spread some positivity with your friends and your community, and hopefully it'll be a great Christmas this year. We'll see you guys later. Have a great one.